Peace, family. What is up? What is going on? And we are we live? We are live. Hold on. Let me make sure there's that shadow. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hold on a second. 1 second, y'all. There we go. All right. There we go. Shadow is gone. We are live. Peace and love. Okay. All right. All right. All right. We live. Yep. Yep. Let me kind of fix that. Okay. We don't want that in the background. Okay. So we are live. And we are 4 minutes past, but it is all good. We are here. Welcome to another YouTube. Uh, Welcome to Children Wednesdays. Okay, so Wednesdays are Children Day, and that is the only day where I see children clients. Okay, so I absolutely have Children Iridology. We actually have a back to school special where you can have your iridology for your child at a special rate. And it's a different rate than for the adults. Okay. So I am going to share that really quickly if it's accessible. So, yeah, there it is. All right. So I'm going to share that in the chat, family. All right. So if that is something that you are interested in and you want to know more about your child's health, you want to be more in depth. You want to have like, okay, I know that, there's more that I need to know about my child's health. Here you go. Back to school special for iridology for children. I put the link in the chat, and that's for you to book your child's consultation. And that's for children 2 to 12 years old. All right. We are going to be diving into iridology. Let me get this side. We're going to be diving into iridology. We're going to be diving into nutrition. We're going to be diving into ways that I prepare my daughter before the school year. We're going to be diving into how to prepare your children for the school year, right? How to prepare your bodies. And the reason why I made Wednesdays Children's Day is what is happening right now is that the campaign for immunizations are revved up, right? We're not going to be talking about that too deep because, again, I don't want to get flagged like I was the other day on TikTok. We're not doing that. Y'all already know my stance on that. I was already raised with this fire in me. My mother was an activist in her own right. My grandmother was an activist in her own right. Shout out to Curtis Cause, who actually saved my life from the needle. Shout out to Dr. Phil Valentine, who actually wrote my exemption back in 93. My brother or myself was never. Okay. So y'all already know my stance on that. We're not going to get too deep into that. We're going to go into ways that you can arm your children's body, because guess what? That campaign is not going to stop. And when people say, oh, like, we talk about like someone calling you and trying to share something with you. And I'm like, listen, y'all, do y'all realize that we are being sold something every minute, every second of the day? Every second of the day, we're being sold something. Every time you go into a grocery store, you wonder why those intercoms keep running. Hey, come to the pharmacy and get your free da-da-da-da-da today. Programming. Why? Because now you hear it so much, you're going to just do it without a thought. So now I need you to turn on your subconscious mind and receive this information on how you're going to prepare your child's immune defense lymphatic system naturally, right? So that you can absolutely, what I call, doctor your children in your own home. Y'all ready? All right, let's do this. All right, who's in the chat? Thank y'all so much for being here. Please share this live. Everybody knows someone with children. We all know someone with children, nieces, nephews, grandchildren. Share this live, okay? So, for those of you who are brand new to my channel, welcome. My name is Shakira, and I am a board-certified naturopath and iridologist. I can look into your iris and be able to tell what kind of imbalances that are there, whether it is past, present, or even future potential. I can absolutely look into your eye, every organ in your body, and tell you what stage of health, what stage of tissue, what stage of cells are in your body, your uterus, your spleen, your prostate, your liver, your colon. Everything is told through the eye well before you feel a symptom and well before most times your lab work comes back and tell the story. All right. So with that being said, I am going to share my screen. But before we do that, let's kick off a little Q&A for those of you who are here on the live, right? Tell me, what are some things that is going on with your children? What do you want to know about children's health? Is there a specific thing that your child is dealing with, right? Is there a specific thing that you want answers to, that you've been going to doctors and they're like, I don't know what's going on with my child's health, right? You can put it in a chat and we're definitely going to dive into that. Now, most times when we're talking about children, right, I have to say this, y'all, and this may ruffle some feathers, but I really hope it does, so that we can begin to make a change. Now, when I look at children, and I have a quote that I've made years ago that says, sick adults were once sick children. I'm going to repeat that so it can be redundant for you. Sick adults were once sick children. Now, what do I mean by that? When I look at my daughter, she's 11. I look at her and I say, one day she's going to be an adult. I actually had this conversation with her dad because we had some slight conflict on how I raised her. Now, my background is this. I was raised vegetarian. My mother already taught me from birth on how food is connected to disease and how what you eat determines how your life is going to be, basic stuff like that. So my mother is like, I mean, she's a reason why I'm this fiery, y'all. Okay. I feel her in me right now. You know, shout out to my mother. She's in the ancestral realm. My grandmother, my great grandmother, all of my ancestors are like with me in every cell of my body right now. And they're speaking through me because they're like, you have to get this message out and do and fulfill what we were not able to. Right. And so my mother set the foundation. I am also setting the foundation for my daughter. I've been raising her plant-based vegan. We recently started eating a little fish, but most of it, no dairy, no meat, no sugar. I am very, very strict on that. Right. So recently I had a conflict with her dad and I'm like, listen, she's 11. We've been doing this for 11 years. You already know the lie. What's going on? Why do we and he's like, you know what? You're so right. And I said to him and he agreed. And I said, one day these children are going to be adults, right? I want you to look at your children. They're not going to be 11 forever. They're not going to be 5 and 6 and 7. They're going to be adults and they're going to have to face the world like we are. And that's why I love that song by Gil Scott-Heron with what we got to do something to save the children. Because one day they will be facing the world. They will have the same challenges to face and solve just like we do. Now, why would I want to give my daughter another challenge to solve like high blood pressure? Why would I want to give my daughter another challenge to solve like cholesterol, like uterine fibroids, ovarian cysts, liver issues, colon polyps, the list goes on. Why would I want to give my daughter that challenge on her plate? Instead, I can set a foundation. I can set a foundation now to where she has a less of a chance to deal with that, to combat that. Right. So when I talk to parents, I'm like, do you know your child is going to be an adult? And it is our responsibility to raise them up into this kind of consciousness, a foundation that when they grow up, they may stray away. Because when I was a teenager, yes, I was eating a fast food. Yes, I was, started eating meat at 12, 13 years old. But guess what? When I was 21, 22, came back home to my foundation. And there's actually a quote in the Bible that Dr. Nalani, shout out to Dr. Nalani Valentine, she shared with me. She said, train a child up. Y'all got to give me a minute to get that quote, right? Train a child up with a foundation and they will always come home. Somebody put that exact Bible quote in the comments. Please put that exact Bible verse in the comments for me, please, if you're here, right? And those of you who are here, go ahead and let me know. Ask your questions about children's health. I want to see it because this is so important. Our children are getting ready to go back to school. Some of them have already went back to school in the South, right? Atlanta and South Carolina, all of that, they already went back to school. So we need to get in front of this, because guess what? You are being promoted all kind of things right now to get your child ready for school, if you know what I'm talking about. We're not going to say it because, again, we don't want this channel to be flagged, right? So when it talks about, even recently with Dr. Fauci and, pleading the fifth, right? So many times, because he didn't want to perjure himself about this, the Jabberwocky. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But again, it's still not big news. Like, we're still not waking up for people to really understand, like, yo, like, we've all been lied to, y'all. We've been lied to. And it's not just the COVID one, y'all. It's not just that one. It's all of them. It's all of them. Like, when I hear people like, nah, I didn't take that one. I'm like, no, we're not taking none of them. We're not taking absolutely none of them. I think it's train a child up and they shall not depart from you. Yes, that's it. Train a child up and they shall not depart from you. So that means that the foundation that you set for your children, yeah, they may stray, they may like go their own way for a period of time. And guess what? You set a foundation or always going to come back home to. So that's what I've been doing for my daughter for the last 11 years. And yes, when you're raising your child like that, and then you have like the opposite side of the family, whether it's the father side, whatever, and they're like, because they don't see the vision. So let me cast that for you, right? Your child, wherever they are right now in their health, they're going to be adults one day. They're going to be adults. What are we training them for? What are we raising them to be? What kind of consciousness level are we raising them to be? And I have to say that we are seeing more sicker children than ever before. I'm going to quote a pediatrician from the 70s that said that the amount of sick children we had was in small numbers. We're seeing droves of thousands of sick children all the time. And it's common colds, sore throats, ear infections, right? Things that we can take care of ourselves. And this is what I do I have in my herbal store, right? And I'm going to drop that link as well, right? The Holistic Kapala store that I've built is based upon what? You doctoring your own children at home. So things as simple as a cold. I'm going to put this on mute, y'all. Things as simple as a cold, things as simple as an ear infection, right? Things as simple as the flu or fevers are so, to me, simple to take care of at home. But yet we panic because we don't understand our body. We don't understand that what you call sickness is actually the body trying to heal itself. A fever, burning up waste, burning up toxins so that it can stabilize itself. All right. That's why children, when they're not feeling well and you're worried that they're not eating, they're actually doing exactly what we are designed to do. You're supposed to stop eating when you're not feeling well, when you're quote unquote sick. But yet we're like, oh, I gotta rush them to the doctor because we don't know. So let me share my screen, y'all. I am going to just really we're going to really just bust this thing wide open because this is important. Make sure you share this live, okay? Because again, we all know someone with children, okay? So welcome to Children Wednesdays. Right. And again, for those of you who are just tuning in, Wednesdays are the only day that I see children clients. OK, we have a back to school special for iridology. So I would absolutely take advantage of that, especially if you are on a trajectory of making sure that your children don't have these challenges as they get older, as they progress in life. And if they do have these challenges, absolutely, they are something that you can help your child overcome. Okay, sounds good. So the question is this: why are our children so sick? Right? The childhood obesity, right? Children being overweight. And not just overweight. I mean, they are looking like adults, looking like little adults at very young ages. What is happening? Childhood diabetes is on the rise. Have y'all checked the stats? Some of us are checking stats on sports, basketball, football. We're not even checking the stats on childhood obesity, childhood diabetes, cancer, eczema, asthma, allergies, allergies. Oh, goodness. Pollen, dust, dairy, nuts, fruits. What is happening? Rising diagnosis and common surgeries. I used to talk about this a lot. Tonsillectomies and appendectomies. Children getting their tonsils ripped out from them because we as parents don't understand that the tonsils are the first defense, line of defense in the body. So when your child or you are having constant sore throats, that's divine intervention. I want you to write that down. I want someone to put that in the chat. Constant sore throats are divine intervention. I call them miracle flushers. I remember, I'm going to tell you a story. This was back in March, right? Now, you know how I said I raised my daughter plant-based, vegan, and she's at her dad's house. And you know how children are when they don't have the mom or the person who's raising them in this, this light there. They, tend to do a little sneak. So she goes off and thinks that, okay, if I eat ice cream one time and cake and all these things, that, okay, I just wanted to try it. I'll eat it. So they served her the cake and ice cream. When I tell you she came home, her throat closed up. It was so sore she couldn't speak for like 3 days. Now, most people be like, oh my God, girl, that sounds like strep. Now, if I was a parent that, didn't have the knowledge of herbal healing and the body heals itself, give it time, I would have rushed her to the emergency room. They would have said strep, take this antibiotic. And if it was constant, rip the tonsils out. What I did was I said, okay, I know what to do. I gave her my cold and flu drops. All right. It's on my website, on my children's defense kit. I have a children's defense kit with all of the tinctures for ear infections, cold and flus, and fevers. I gave her my fever care. I gave her my cold and flu. I gave her my ear infection. Because what goes along with the sore throat? An ear infection, a fever. It's all like the body just trying so hard to stabilize itself because attack is happening. Pathogens have entered the chat. Okay. So she's laying there 3 days. She didn't eat a thing. I mean, she's losing weight and not drastically, but again, I see what's happening. She's doing exactly what nature intends. When you're not feeling well, stop eating. She's taking the drops, doing the ear infection drops, all of that, the cold and flu. After about 3 days, she was able to have a little soup, some oranges, and she was well, I want to say the 4th day. She was talking. She was eating again. And you know what she said to me, y'all? I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I want to see who's here. Do you know what she said to me, my daughter, my baby girl? Do you know what she said to me after that experience? She said, Mommy, I will never eat dairy again. That was the worst experience ever. And I said, well, sometimes we have to learn for ourselves, right? Like, how we parents used to tell us, you don't hear me, so you're going to have to feel me. Like, I don't hit. No, that's not what I'm doing. But I'm saying sometimes we have to experience life for ourselves. So somebody tell us not to do something, you do it, like, oh yeah, I see why they told me not to do that. And I said, well, Bria, you've never had it before. You've never had it. So when you entered all of that in your body, it was like, whoa, what happened? We got to rush to get this out. And so I'm glad that she had, like, it was so hard to see my baby go through that. I was angry. I was upset. I'm like, why the heck y'all don't get, she don't eat no ice cream. But And I won't say, but I would also say that she got a chance to experience it where it's like, now I know why my mommy raised me this way. Now I know why. Right. So that was something that, it was an experience for her. I know for me, when I was growing up, it was the same thing. I would get a sore throat, dairy. I mean, oh my goodness. But the more I ate it, the more like my body would adapt. So I wouldn't get a sore throat every time. But when I was on overload, oh yes, sore throat, ear infection, fever, it all coincided. And I remember when I was about 2021, and I had like this really like the worst sore throat. It felt like I was swallowing glass. I know y'all, if anybody experienced that, it felt like you're swallowing glass. And I have the sore throat, ear infection. I said, Mommy, if I could never have a sore throat again, I would do anything. Well, you know what you got to do. I don't raise you like this. You know what you got to do. Give up that dairy. And at the time, I loved cookies and cream, y'all. Like cookies and cream ice cream was the like, come on now. Love me some cookies and cream ice cream down. Love cheese on my turkey burger. And I knew I didn't want to do this anymore. I didn't want to go through this anymore. So I'm like, is it me? It's going to be me or this cheese? It's going to be me, my health, my sanity, my peace, or this cookies and cream. That's what I chose. I chose my peace. I chose getting up and not feeling the way I felt. That simple as that. And I never looked back. 11 years, almost 11 years later, never looked back. So we really again, foundation, y'all. Foundation. This is what we're talking about. The nutrition you need for your children. And that's why I said this live is not going to be what you think as far as talking about vaccinations and immunizations. Like, I'm talking about the only immunization that you need, and that is the food you're feeding your children and how you can get it in your child's body in 60 seconds. Who wants to know that? Put a fire emoji in the chat. Let's look at the chat. Barry, peace and love. I see you. I don't have kids, but I can relate to everything you're saying from my childhood. Yes, I suffered real bad with allergies and sore throats as a kid. Yes. And so many of us have. But again, it's like now we're connecting the dots like, yo, hold on a second. It was the food that I was eating, right? It was the overload that I was on, right? And so now we get to connect it like, yeah, this is what's happening. All right. So I'm going to share my screen again. Y'all ready? Let's continue. Let's continue. Okay. So again, we are experiencing and witnessing the highest levels of sicker children in recorded history. All right. Children are having appendectomies. Like they are just like it's nothing. Just ripping out tonsils, ripping out appendix. It is, goodness. It's just so sad when I hear and when I see it, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Right. So the numbers don't lie. Right. So childhood obesity has more than tripled in the last 40 years. Right. So obesity is up 51% since 99. Allergies and eczema nearly doubled. Cancer in incidence, 0.5, 0.7 per year. Okay. Youth type 2 diabetes plus 5%. Listen, we talk about stats, right? The numbers don't lie. So we're not going to get too deep into that. I just really want to show you like, hey, we have a problem on our hands, family, and we can absolutely do something about it, right? When it comes to allergies, when it comes to eczema, these are all something that you can calm down based upon what you're feeding your child and something that they may not be getting enough of. So this is actually one of my favorite things to talk about, right? Because we have this thing where we're like so hyper focused on germs outside of ourselves, right? If you touch like a surface, or if you have something where like somebody else is sick, oh, don't be around that person because you're sick, and you can catch it too. And so the difference between the germ theory and the terrain theory, first of all, how many of us have heard of that? Some of us have already heard of it already. Put it in the chat. Just put a 1 in the chat if you've already heard the difference between the germ and the terrain theory. This is important because guess what? Our current medical system is based on the germ theory, when that germ theory has been debunked so many times, right? Everything is around the germ theory, including what is called immunizations. It's around that microbes cause disease and we need antibiotic based medicine, and it ignores the amazing intelligent abilities of your human body. So when we're talking about parasites and we're talking about fungi and candida and all of these different things that can come in the body, it can only come inside if we invite it. You have to have the perfect environment for those microbes to thrive in. So it cannot survive in a terrain where it's clean, where it's being cleaned, where it's oxygenated, where it's alkaline, right? So now when we shift our focus to, okay, well, what is the terrain theory? I'm strengthening my innate defense system. Food is medicine. What I eat absolutely strengthens my internal environment and lessens my chance from these microbes actually multiplying in my body. You diversify your microbiome, so that's your gut, right? What's in your gut? How much good microbiome or bacteria do you have in your colon that can actually fight off disease? We're going to actually talk about that a little bit more. This is like the core of how you're going to strengthen your child's body and you as well, right? So now we shift the consciousness. Like when we see illnesses, it's not, oh gosh, like let me run to the urgent care and take care of this ear infection. Let me run and get an antibiotic for this fever. Let me run and get something for this cold. Rather, we see it as the body doing its best to sustain itself, to stabilize itself. So when we see illnesses, it's the body's intelligence to return to balance. Rather than a threat, we move from fear-based medicine to understanding-based healing. Right. So when I had my daughter, as I said, in March, and she's laying there for 3 days and couldn't speak, I nurtured her innate immune defense lymphatic system. I nurtured it. I worked with her body. Probiotics versus antibiotics, giving her herbs that actually respond with what her body is already attempting and trying so desperately to do to maintain balance. Okay. And it's so important because, again, this is missing. This is missing in our thinking when it comes to common children's challenges. There's a book. It's by Dr. Robert Mendelssohn, and it's called How to Raise a Healthy Child in Spite of Your Doctor. I actually stopped sharing my screen because I want to share that with you. The book is called somebody put in the chat for me, please. How to Raise a Healthy Child in Spite of Your Doctor by Dr. Robert Mendelssohn. Okay, Mendelssohn. That's Mendelsohn. And he was like a pediatrician whistleblower. He's been, yes, D Nice. That's the book I have. Absolutely. I remember I was giving those books out for free, like back in 2020, when I first launched my children's defense kit, my ear care, my cold and flu, and my fever care tincture drops. I was giving that away with the package. I had so much of it from wholesale. And I'm like, let me just give this book away. It's right on Amazon, and it's an amazing book. What he talks about, and he has other books too. He started as a pediatrician, and he was noticing that after children were getting sicker, and he began to dedicate his life to helping parents make informed decisions. Right. He was still in the field, but he was like, I need to let parents know, listen, like there's other ways you can heal your child. You don't always need me. See, when you have people like that who start out in the medical field and they're like, it's not about money. I started this to help people. So he transitioned away from, oh yeah, I gotta keep recommending that so I could get paid. Instead of that, he chose his soul and said, you know what? I'm going to let parents know the truth. He started writing books, and that was one of them. How to raise a healthy child in spite of your doctor. How to take care of a cold at home on your own. How to take care of an ear infection on your own. What it is and how it goes away in 2 days. And it's not as alarming as you think. I mean, he really, really breaks it down and make you, the parent, know that you can absolutely doctor your children in your own home. All right. How many of y'all are feeling this live? Go ahead and blow up the chat. All right. Someone has said, peace and love. Growing up, I always had allergies. I don't deal with them as much these days because of what I eat or don't eat rather. Look at that. I knew someone that had allergies to everything. I'm talking about fruit, everything. And she changed her gut. That's it. She started working on her gut health. She started, just changing everything, how she ate, how she lived. And she can eat apples again. She can eat peaches again. She can eat strawberries again. I mean, it was amazing what she did for herself. I mean, she always talked about she was a very sick child, and now she's just living a just amazing, vibrant life. So it's absolutely possible that you can reverse allergies. It takes time with you building up your colon, your gut microbiome. You can absolutely do, and we're going to share how you can do that. Okay. Yup, everything. Yes. I just wanted to share that with y'all. Dr. Robert Mendelssohn, that book is amazing. Okay. Amazing. Now we're going to get into some iridology. That's my favorite. Hey, shout out to the iris. Everybody put iris in the chat. The iris has entered the chat. This is my favorite science, my favorite specialty. I absolutely love serving iridology to the community. While we're doing that, this Saturday, I have been invited to speak at an event in Jersey. So anyone in New York, Jersey, Pennsylvania, this Saturday, Lionsgate, 8/8, right? The Lionsgate Day, 8/8. I will be in Newark, New Jersey, speaking about health. It's a health event. They're going to have vegan food. They're going to have vendors. It's going to be live. Other speakers will be there. So those of you who are in New York, Jersey, Pennsylvania, I will be speaking on stage. I'll have some of my products, the Eagle Eye drops, the Parasite drops. So y'all come on out, bring your children. I love to meet you. All right. I'm going to share that flyer as well so that you know the exact time that it starts, the location, all of that. All right. So everyone put iris in the chat. Yes. Okay. Iridology has entered the chat. So again, while we're doing looking at this iris back to school special for your children, get your iridology appointment for your children before the school year. Let's see what their iris looks like. Okay, let's see what their immune defense system looks like and work on it. So now you know exactly what to work on with your child's health. Okay. So click on that link. If you see it, I might have to repost it. It's in the chat. Just click on it and you can get your appointment book for your child age 2 to 12 benefits from the special. Okay, let's do this. So can you see the immune defense lymphatic system in your child's iris, in your iris as well? Yes, you absolutely can, right? So how can we tell? So many people say, oh, can you tell? How did you know that I have my tonsils removed? I had a client and I asked her when I looked into her iris, and this is well before she told me anything. I said, did you have your tonsils removed as a child? And she said, oh my God, how'd you know that? I'm like, could see it right here. See that where my cursor is? You see these empty spots here? That's the tonsils and the adenoid area, right? And so those areas, again, when we talked about tonsils, we talk, and it's the same with adenoids. All of this is lymphatic tissue. What is the lymphatic system known for? Defense. It is your military defense system in your body to ward off pathogenic microbes. Okay. So anytime you are eating certain foods that will come into the body and pose a threat, your lymphatic system is at play. Now, the first line of defense of your lymphatic system are your tonsils. So she was getting so many sore throats as a child that the doctor suggested to remove them. But guess what? The sore throats kept happening even after she had her tonsils and adenoids removed, right? So absolutely, you can see the tonsils in the iris. You can also see if the tonsils are inflamed in the eyes, right? It'll show up as like white specks in the iris, okay? So absolutely, you can see all that, okay? Now, when you come here, look at the colon area. See how brown it is versus how the iris is naturally a blue color. What does it show? It shows that the gut area, the colon, has been compromised. And that is one of the main areas when it comes to looking at your immune defense lymphatic system. Now we're going to go over to this iris here, where this is a child 7 years young, and you have all of these markings in the transverse colon, right? And guess what that area houses? That's that area right, like the upper area of your colon, okay? And that colon, that part of the colon houses diverse gut bacteria. So much gut bacteria. So anytime you feel bloated there or you feel like it's extended, that is why. Because a lot of times we're not eating what? Enough fiber to even boost diverse gut bacteria. And it contains a large number of immune defense lymphatic tissue there too in your transverse colon. So now we go here. You see this? You see how it's dark around the pupil? Around the colon is around the pupil is where the colon is. And in here, this is something called Peyer's patches. Now that is the last part of the small intestine. And we're not going to get too sciencey. I just want you to really visualize this, right? So when we're dealing with what is called Crohn's, we're dealing with what is called what is the other colon issue? Diverticulitis is another one. It all deals with that small intestine, specifically the ileum. Now, the ileum houses 70% of your lymphatic system there. And this is why so many those with Crohn's are getting their ileum removed. They're getting part of their small intestine removed because they're saying it's damaged. It cannot be revived. That's not true. It can be when we change the diet, when we add in the foods that we actually need. And so when you're thinking about your lymphatic system, your immune system, guess what? 70% of it is in your gut. You have a whole network of that defense in your gut. So when we're talking about antibiotics and your child has a cold and the tonsils are swollen and the sore throat, we need to be focusing on their guts. Okay? So that's the key. Again, before school start, right? And we're saying, oh, my child bought this home. No, the child was already had a low functioning lymphatic system. So when they go to school and they're around other children who are shedding, they're shedding that waste. You got children coming to school fresh with that Jabberwocky. Guess what happens when your child and your child didn't get it, but other children got it and they're shedding. Guess what? Your child's immune defense lymphatic system wasn't strong enough. So now they come home sick. So now I'm showing you how to build your child's immune defense lymphatic system so that when they go to school, you will have less chance of getting that phone call at 1 p.m. Hello, ma'am. Jameer he's complaining of a sore throat. You have to leave work to come get him. And with this that I'm going to actually share with you, we actually have studies that show that 66% of children were missing fewer days of school, y'all. My goodness. Yes. Right. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen so I can see what y'all are saying in the chat. Any questions about iridology? Anything at all? Yes. Everyone's saying yes. Iris. Yes. Where at in PA? It's actually, the event is in New Jersey. So it's in Newark, New Jersey. Let me share that right quick so I could get that up. And I want to make sure that y'all have that. I'm going to share that. Let's do a little intermission. Hold on, let me see. There it is. All right. This is the event in Jersey, Saturday, Lionsgate Day, 8/8. Okay. Disease prevention, a holistic soul expo. Learn how to eat to live, then live to eat. August 8th, 2026, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. All right. So that's on 600 Broad Street in Newark, New Jersey. For those of you who are in New York, Jersey, Pennsylvania, come out and see me. I'll have a table of some of my things. I don't bring a lot. I'm not doing iridology. I do not do iridology consultations anymore at events. You can absolutely book your consultation at my table, as well as your child. But I don't do any consultations like at the event anymore. So I'll be speaking and then also have some of my products on hand for you to have. All right. So that is the flyer. And we're also going to share it again as we get more to the ending of this live. All right. Okay. Yes. Thank you for putting, yes, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. Yes. Irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, colitis. Yes. All of that, that deals with that area that I showed in the iris. Yes. Looking great. Thanks for sharing this info. You got it. You got it. Thank you for being here. Absolutely. All right. So let's get back to that iris and any questions I want to make sure that you get your questions answered about your child's health. All right. That's important so that I know how to serve you. Like if your child's dealing with eczema, if your child's dealing with acne or these sort of things, so that we know what to do, right? We know without a doubt. They call it puberty. Oh, my child's going to puberty. The body is overloaded, right? And then the hormones is revved up too. So you can absolutely support your child when they're going through the transition of being like a 9 and 8-year-old to 11, 12, 13, right? It's all about how, like how their bodies are reacting to the change and how you can support it. All right. Especially if you're seeing a lot of skin issues, eczema, psoriasis, all of that. All right. Don't forget that Payer's patch, what is called in the ileum, which is the last part of the small intestine, is actually called GALT, which is gut associated lymphoid tissue. 70% of your lymphatic system is there. So we need to focus on the colon when it comes to tonsils, when it comes to appendix. Okay, all of that. All right. So cancer and childhood ailments, let the cold run its course. And that's what I teach parents as well. Let the cold run its course. Don't interfere with it. Antibiotics. Sometimes I don't even give my daughter a bunch of herbs. I give her maybe a few and then I let it run its course. Okay, so that she is building up her lymphatic while also letting her body fight for her. All right. So I call these common colds miracle flushers, right? The body needs to eliminate these pathogens, right? And so when you think about it, and I actually have this where I teach other parents, other students, that when you look at the lab work, right, and you see that number, the active number of neutrophils, right, which is phagocytic cell, which engulfs everything, right, that it defends against invading microorganisms. And when the tonsils are swollen, these neutrophils accumulate at that site. And the modern science, modern health, modern medicine calls it an infection. So instead of looking at it as, oh, this is my body doing what it's supposed to do, it's an infection. What do I do with an infection? I have to suppress it. All right. I have to get rid of it. Right. Instead of looking at it as, this is my body fighting for me. Okay. So I think we have the idea, y'all. I'm going to actually go to what I do for my children, for my daughter, and what I know is going to work for you and also your children as well. So we talked about, okay, we're not getting enough. It's not about what they're eating. It's about what they're not eating. Let's talk about that. It's about what your children are not eating. It's about what they're not eating as well. So we absolutely have to plug them into something where they're taking every single day, like clockwork, right? When we're thinking about fruits and vegetables, the food supply is not even the same anymore. It's really not. It's so depleted in the nutrients that we need anyway, that when we can eat constant fruit and maybe get half of what we're supposed to get from it. So I said to myself, well, dang, like, all right, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Like, so how can we absolutely like flood our bodies with things that we absolutely need? I don't want to have a cabinet full of things like vitamin D and vitamin C and all of this stuff. Like, how can I get something in my body that's like, matter of fact, I'm going to flood every cell in my body with this nutrition, okay? And so what this is, and y'all all heard me talk about it, keep talking about it, because it is something that I absolutely know. Oh, I don't know why that's like that. Anyway, there we go. It's something that you absolutely need to know about, right? So for those of you who are in the circle of the holistic Avengers, that somebody called, they said, oh, you're in part of the holistic Avengers. Myself, Dr. Phil Valentine, Dr. Nalani Valentine, we're constantly showing you how to get this not only for yourself, but for your children, right? And what I love about it is that right before school, right, you can arm your children's body for free. So they literally give the Juice Plus for children 4 years old and up for free. And all of this will be flooding their little bodies. And this is what I've been doing with my daughter since she was 5. And many other things, as well as her diet. It's things that she's eating, things that she's doing. And this saves the day, for real. I was giving her double Juice Plus, matter of fact, when she was not feeling well a few months ago. And it has been something that, okay, if she doesn't get enough fruits and vegetables for that day, I know she got broccoli. I know she got parsley. I know she got the kale. I know she got lemon peel, garlic. These children are not going to be eating that on their own. So you get to give it to them in a gummy form, or you get to give it to them in a powder form or a capsule. And it's absolutely free for your child. So this is what part of what I'm saying as far as the only immunizations that you need. And the reason why I created that flyer, because I'm like, yeah, that's gonna pique some interest, because it's like, hold on a second, we're not talking about vaccinations. We're not talking about, just downing it and, don't do this and don't do, no. Let me tell you something right now. I gotta say this. I'm not saying I'm over having that conversation. I go on private meetings like Curtis Cost. Shout out to Curtis Cost. If anyone knows who he is, put a one in the chat. He invites me to meetings, whether it's private on Zoom or on his Substack. And I go and I talk about it because it is important. It is something that is near and dear to me, because I've never been. And he's one of the driving forces of why. And so he loves when I come on, because he's like, you're a living example of my book, of what I've been trying to warn parents for years about, these poisons and things like that. So that's not something that I talk about on these platforms. You'll hear me, if you know me, all right, absolutely know my stance. No. Okay. And absolutely, your way of arming your child's body can be through whole food nutrition. And we don't talk about it on here because that topic has become a religion. Like, it's like politics, y'all. Like, have you ever really sat there and talked to people and they just start arguing with you, getting mad at you, like, yo, chill. Listen, you do what you do, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm just, hey, anyway. So this is how you're going to flood your children's bodies every day with this nutrition, right? And with childhood obesity on the rise, immune defense systems are lower than ever. We have childhood diabetes. I mean, this food, like, it's not a vitamin, it's food, has absolutely been proving to reduce obesity. It's been proven to improve gut health. It's been proven to do DNA repair. They had a study where they took adults and found that they lost waste in a 6-week period of taking what is called juice, with this juice plus, this food here, right? They did a study where they found that over 1,600 genes have repaired itself with taking juice plus. That means that you are responsible for your genes. You right now, and if you are plan on having children, if you plan on having children and you have children already, your body, the state of your body will determine how healthy your bloodline will be 7 generations from now. So it questions the, are we a victim to our genes? I hear women going to get elective mastectomies because their grandmother and their mother and their aunties had breast cancer. This is insane. We can absolutely change our genes, activate new ones and healthier ones at a snap of a finger. That is how powerful you are, but you need the tools to do that. And this is where we have the Juice Plus. Okay. So I am going to drop that in the chat so that you can learn more about it. We have the Healthy Starts with Family, where you can get this nutrition into your children's body for free, as I said. And this is where the survey comes in, where I was talking about 66% of children are visiting the doctors less, y'all. Less. Remember when I told you, you don't want to get that call? I'm like, oh, I got to go pick up Samaya because she's not feeling well again. 56% of children are taking fewer over-the-counter drugs and 61% eating more fruits and vegetables. And they're missing fewer days of school. Y'all, oh my goodness. Like, I just absolutely love what, the fact that they are giving it away for free. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. The fact that they are giving it away for free. Free. Did I say free? Yeah, free for children. When you get your own order, okay? And I've been getting it free for my daughter for 6 years, y'all. 6 years. All right, let me look at the chat. D Nice said, did you say 70% of the lymphatic system is in the small intestine? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, it is. 70%. It's called GALT, gut-associated lymphoid tissue. And 70% of it lives in the small intestine. It's called Peyer's patches. I want somebody to put in the chat, Peyer's patches. And it's in the ileum. That's the specific. That's the small part of the small intestine where it's at. Okay, ileum. Colic in babies seem to be common too. Yes, absolutely. Again, it's just also how we feed ourselves while we're pregnant, right? And then the child has to expel that too. So it's so much. This brain is so vast. When I tell you, like, I'm versed on so many things. And that's actually why I love Dr. Phil Valentine too, because he's like a walking library for so many different topics. Like, and I'm so blessed to have this information to share with you all, because it's like sometimes it gets so much, like I gotta share it. I gotta like get it out, So absolutely. My 1-year-old gets eczema. My 3-year-old grew out of it, but they both still get flare-ups. Okay. So here's what to do. If your child it's been diagnosed with eczema, or you see the eczema and they're getting the flare-ups, it's something that's still in their body that's causing that histamine release. So we have to calm that down. And what I do when it comes to children with eczema, the first thing we remove, dairy and meat products. That's the first thing. Dairy and meat products. Those are the flare-ups. The second thing, I would actually put this with the first two, is sugar. Sugar. And I actually have a PDF of 10 signs your children are inflamed. Okay, so I'm going to drop that in the chat. 10 signs your children are inflamed. And the inflammation comes from what even like micro level, whether it's dairy in a cake, dairy in a cookie, it still gets in the body, right? With no way to come out if they're on overload. So right now they're on overload. When we're thinking about eczema, I want you to think about gut. I want you to think about liver. All right. So in order for less flare-ups, dairy, meat, sugar. And let me tell you why I say that. And then also, I would like for you to check out my parabiome drops. This is a parasite drop for adults and children. On the back, it says use half the dosage for a child. And this is what you will give them half the dosage of. And over time, paired with the diet, you'll see less flare ups with your children. Now, let me tell you a story. I was working, and this is an eczema story. I was working at a health food store in my early 20s. I was in school at the time for naturopathic medicine, iridology. And so I'm working there at the time. And even when I was working there, they're like, oh my God, you're so knowledgeable. I'm like, yeah, I'm in school for this stuff. And my mother raised me this way. So it was like perfect to work here. I'm in the aisle, I'm stocking the shelves, stocking the vitamins and things. And this woman comes in the store. I'm getting chills thinking of the store. I wonder how she's doing. She comes in the store. She's very skinny, very frail. And she has eczema all over her body. And she's miserable. She comes to me because I was the only Black person that worked there. And she says, sister, I need help. I am in panic mode. I haven't slept in 3 days. The itching keeps me up. I'm itching all night. She was crying in the aisle. And I'm like, I'm in school. I'm not really like giving advice at the time. I'm still learning myself, right? So I'm listening to her. She's like, I don't know what to do. Can you show me and point me in the right direction of what I should do? And I said, well, first I'm going to ask you. I'm like, I'm so sorry this is happening to you. And I said, what did you eat today? She said, well, I had some eggs and I had some cheese and I had some orange juice. And I said, well, the first things I want you to do, I want you to take away the animal protein. I want you to take away the dairy. I want you to take away the cheese and the sugar. Okay, that's number one, because that's what's feeding it. Number two, I pointed her to black walnut. We have black walnut at the time. I said, what you're going to do, I'm going to scoop some and put in a bag for you. And you're going to make like a cream out of it. Okay. You're going to pour a little hot water, mix it up. And then you're going to apply that to your body. You're going to add tea tree oil and you're going to apply that paste to your body and you'll be able to sleep. Okay. I want to say maybe a few days later, she comes in. I don't want to say no more than 4. She looked so different. She was happier. She walked in the store and one of the other ladies was like, can I help you? She was like, I'm looking for a specific person. Oh, there she is. Oh my God, you helped me so much. Thank you so much. Oh my God, it worked. And I said, oh my God. And those were the moments that I knew I was supposed to be doing what I'm doing. I was in school at the time. I'm like 23, 24. And that was the moment when I knew this is my path. That from that information right there changed her life. She stopped eating the eggs and the cheese and the sugar. She bought a couple of things from the health food store, like food to eat from the health food store. And she like changed in a few days, less than a week. Her skin even looked less inflamed. So for that question, here's what I want you to do. I actually have a butter now that I make. That same recipe that I gave her, I make as a butter. It has black walnut. It has tea tree oil. It has all the herbs and the liver bin, cassia, beetroot powder, cardamom, all of that. And you apply it on the skin and it helps when it comes to eczema flare-ups, any type of itchiness of the skin. When you're doing a parasite cleanse, even though you don't have a physical rash, sometimes the skin begins to itch, right? So that's what that's made for. It's antibacterial, antimicrobial, antifungal. And then also here, the parabiome drops that you can give your children half the dosage. Okay. And that is my answer for you for eczema. All right. I also want you to fill out this form. I'm going to send this form. Yeah. I'm going to drop this really quick. And what it is when you fill it out, I'm gonna have your email. So I don't know who you are. I don't have your email, your contact. Make sure you fill out this form, because what it does is I have your email, your name, your phone number. I can reach out to you and we can get you started on a plan for your children, especially with the Juice Plus, with a sound plan when it comes to herbs, not just buying things and like, okay, what do I do next, right? My golden rule is if you don't have a structure, don't buy it, right? So everything that people buy from me is a structure to go along with it. It's not buy this, see you later, hope it works, right? Everything comes with directions, plans, groups, community, everything. Okay. So that form gives me an idea of where you are in your health, your children's health. When you fill it out, I have your name, phone number, and then we'll reach out to you. Okay, so definitely, if I say Nega Delph, fill out that form. And anyone who's ready to move forward with your health, your children's health, you're ready to prepare your children's body for back to school. Okay, remember, they don't catch anything. That's my favorite thing to say. You don't catch anything. Rather, your body is the perfect environment for that germ to expand. I remember Dr. Layla Africa, may he rest in power, he said, you can't catch the healthy. If I'm sitting next to you, I'm healthy. You can't catch that. How can we catch the sickness too? Well, it's because, again, your body was what? The perfect environment for that germ, microbe, parasite, whatever, to thrive in. And another quote that Blue Pill said, that his mother said, that ping-ponging parasites, the parasites just ping-ponging off of each other. If you're in the vicinity of someone that has them or whatever, not in the sense of, oh yeah, you're just going to have them too. You just could feel that person's energy emanating, and you have to be careful based upon what they're emanating to, whether it's negativity. It's not always, oh, a person has parasites, stay away from them. No, we have parasites. I'll say most of the world does, and we're actively getting rid of them, right? We're actively doing something about it. But sometimes you'll meet people who are like severe, and they're like, oh man, yeah, like the negativity, the gossip, oh no. So I like that she had said that term, Blue Pill's mom. Wish I had kids to put them on this. Yes, and for adults, even if you don't have children, you can have it too, right? You can have the Juice Plus. I'm going to share my screen again so you can see what that looks like and what you and your child will be getting, okay? So if you don't have any children, but you have nieces, you have nephews, right? You can absolutely sponsor a child. So this is what you'll be getting. This is my method of saying, this is how you flood your body with over 30 fruits and vegetables and berries in less than 60 seconds. So I'm all about collapsing time, right? Not, oh, I want to get there in 6 months or 7 months. No, let's collapse time and get there quicker, okay? 30 fruits and vegetables and berries in 60 seconds in your body, in your cells. And matter of fact, this is not just something I'm saying. It has been proven that it has like supreme cell bioavailability. What does that mean? That most of the vitamins that we're taking today, even when I was working at the health food store, all of that doesn't do anything for the body, little to nothing. I won't say anything, but little to nothing, because your body has to first have the stomach acid to move that through for you to absorb it. Most of our small intestines are inflamed, and that's where most of your vitamin intake starts. So if you're taking a vitamin D, a vitamin A, a vitamin E, a vitamin K, and your small intestine is inflamed, and you're like, well, I'm taking all this stuff, nothing is happening. My urine is foamy because it's coming right out. And most of your vitamins you produce on your own with healthy fluid, bile, stomach acid. So what this superfood powder does is it gets directly into the cell over time with, of course, you changing your diet, right? The sugars and things like that. You can be able to produce your own vitamin A, your own vitamin D, your own vitamin E with food, nature's food. And you notice food like berries, like the fruits, like cherries, all of that has an amount that we need of these vitamins, like vitamin A, D, E, K, B12, things like that. So when we're talking about, oh, well, I need this to have B12, did you know that the soil itself contains B12? That we use the food growing directly from the soil was you getting B12 and actually interfacing with that. It's so much that we are still learning how to diversify our gut naturally, right? With food, how to get B12 naturally, even though it is said that we can't produce it on our own. Well, how in the heck universe creator puts us here devoid of something? That's how I'm always thinking, like, wow, no, I'm not devoid of nothing. Okay. So this is backed by over 40 clinical studies. I'm sorry, excuse me, 50. There's 50 now and 30 years of research. This is not something that's fly by night and I'm sharing with you. And rest assured, anything that I am sharing with you, I take myself. Take this every single day, no days missed. Okay? No days missed. And again, I have this for myself, and then I have the order for my daughter as well, as far as for her nutrition. So it comes in gummy form, and it comes in gummy form, and it comes in capsule form. So if you want to do the gummies for the children, because hey, these children are not going to take capsules, right? They're going to do well with gummies, right? Which is sugar-free, fruit sugar, right? They might do better with gummies instead of that. Then absolutely. All right. So one more thing I want to share. Questions, y'all. I love the questions. So make sure y'all put more questions in the chat, and we are going to get on out of here. There was something else that I wanted to share with y'all. Okay. This was something else. All right, this is it here. Oh, this is an old one. Oh, okay. Are we still here, family? Let me know. Y'all in the building? Oh, no, that's something else. Where are we at, y'all? There we go. Okay. All right, so this here, give me 1 second. Yes. Let me look at the chat. Is the superfood powder the powder form of the capsules? That is a great question. Yes. Yes, it is. So let me get that up so that you can see it's the same thing and just in a more effective way, in my opinion, when it comes to the Juice Plus. So the capsules, you see the fruit, the vegetable, and a berry, they had 3 capsules. We were taking 2 capsules of each per day. So, and then of course, omega. Okay. Anyone taking omegas in the chat? Come on, y'all. We need omegas, y'all. Especially men and women, your hormones need omega, especially when you get in them 30s. Yo, omegas will save your life. And it's fish free. Okay. Omegas have entered the chat. Do not slip on those omegas, baby. All right. So when you see what's in the capsules, it's the same thing in the superfood. So the fruit, the berry, and the vegetable is in an easy on-the-go powder. So instead of taking 3 capsules per day, you're just taking 1 packet on the go. Bring it with you on a plane, bring it with you on a train, bring it with you on a car ride. It's super easy to take. And I love it because now 60 seconds in your body after you take it. So I love how nutrition evolved. So now instead of taking the capsules, you take the same now in the superfood powder. I fell in love with it the first moment it hit my door. I was like, oh my God, this is so easy, y'all. I'm getting over 30 fruits and vegetables in my body in 60 seconds. I'm going to stay on this for life, right? It has become part of my budget for groceries, so that's how I look at it, right? So yes, to answer your question, absolutely. Um, I take it too. I love them. Yes. What effects do you feel from the powder and omegas 3s or 6? I don't take any omegas. Okay. So when it comes to feeling anything, fruits and vegetables don't give you a, oh my God, like I feel so great, da da da. Everybody is different, right? So it works on a cell level. And most times when things are happening on a cell micro level, you don't feel it yet on a macro level. Now, myself, I'll tell you some of my, and those of you who take the superfood, go ahead and blow it up. Not blow it up in the sense of hype it up, but tell them your experiences. I see some of y'all who already take the superfood, and let them know your experience. Now, for me, energy. I never really had an issue with energy. You see how I'm a little tired, but I'm always on go when I'm teaching. Like this is my passion. So everybody's like, yo, you always on 100. I'm like, yeah, like and with the superfood and illuminate, I'm always on 1,000. So for me, it just increases my energy and sustains my energy throughout the day. My skin. Oh my goodness, what else? Inflammation, right? If you see some of my old pictures from last year, like I was so inflamed, like my ankles were inflamed, so it was crazy. And then all of that just dissipated just with Juice Plus and my herbs and things like that. So other people who said within their first week of taking it, who doesn't get fruit and vegetables, right? A lot of us are not getting enough fruits and vegetables. We go days without it. We will go days without eating a fruit or vegetable. So now instead of going days without it, you have this easy on the go packet that now you're getting over 30 of them. And people are saying, okay, my energy has increased. I feel less tired. I don't feel inflamed. I had a client that took it for 4 straight months, went back to have her iron levels checked, specifically her folate increased. Doctors was like, whatever you do, keep doing it. But again, she was on it for that 4-month plan, 4 months. So yes, we don't make any claims. We just say this is their experience. All right. And she showed me her lab work before and after taking the Juice Plus. And that's what, she was doing for the entire 4 months. And she's been a customer client of mine ever since. And she won't ever stop her Juice Plus, including myself and anyone who knows how amazing it is. Chanel said, I feel energized when I take 1 pack. Yes, absolutely. It's helped me with my iron too. My iron increased naturally. She has an amazing story. Oh my goodness. Amazing story of iron. It will blow your mind. I love her story. Shout out to you, Chanel. Omega 3s or 6s. I don't take any omegas. You know what? I love that you asked that question because I'm about to blow your mind. It's not just omega 3 and 6. It's the 3. It's the 6. It's omega 3, 6, 7, and 9. So you're getting the full spectrum of omegas, all right? Not just one aspect of it. All right. You're getting the full spectrum. And that's why I love it so much, because I'm like, I'm getting all of this omega in my body constantly. And it's not from fish, it's from algae. It's from sea buckthorn berry oil, pomegranate seed, right? Safflower, raspberry, tomato. And so many women know about the sea buckthorn when it comes to hormone health, when it comes to cycles and things like that. And what effect do omegas have on the hormones? Men too. What it does is your hormones are made of fats. So you need omegas in to actually sustain, stabilize your hormones. So my story, when I share on Tuesday webinar that I do with women, it's called "What Your Eyes Reveal That Your Lab Work Misses." I share my story of hormonal facial hair, and one of the things was that I noticed incorporating more of this. I was taking 4 of the omegas instead of 2, and I noticed that last year when I was dealing with that, it lessened, right? And so instead of getting the laser treatments and letting it get out of control, diet plays a role in hormones. So when I think of omegas, one of the things, not all of it, one of the things I think of are hormones, brain, heart, thyroid, right? All of that. Okay. So absolutely, if you're not taking omega, you need an omega, and you need a powerful one too. And you need one straight from the source, not the fish, straight from where the fish gets its omega from. Check. Can I get a ashe, a amen? So as we wrap this up, I really trust that this was helpful for you when it comes to the only immunizations that your children need, how to prepare your children for a healthy body going back to school. Okay. It is absolutely pertinent that you do this, that you prepare their body. So we talked about, okay, the children's defense kit, my ear care, my fever care. Actually, I'm going to drop that website so that you have it. Okay, I'm going to drop the website so that you have that. Okay, give me 1 second, family. Up, where we at? Where we at? Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to drop the website so that you have that, and you know where to go. Someone asked, omegas are in a powder. Omegas is it's a liquid. Yes, thank you, Barry. It is a liquid in a capsule. It's a liquid in a capsule. All righty. So okay, so the children's defense kit, what does it look like? I released this, I want to say 6 years ago. And what it is, it's exactly what it is. It's ear care, cold and flu, and fever care. Okay. And what that does, it's helping you doctor your own children in the comfort of your own home. It's really inspired by how my mother raised me. When we would get quote unquote sick, it wasn't run to the emergency room. It wasn't run to the urgent care. My mother had a remedy for everything. She used garlic oil for ear infections. We had cough syrup, herbal cough syrup. We had things for fever. My mother was her own healer in her own right, and that's what I teach you to do. Okay. And I give you the tools to do that. All right. So that's the children's defense kit there. And so I'm going to stop sharing here and I'm going to drop that link to the site so that you have that, and then explore all of the other goodies and weapons that you need during this time, especially getting your children prepared for the school year. Okay. We talked about the Juice Plus, how this is something that you are arming your children's body with every single day. Every single day. Okay. So that you have less chances of them, getting ill and things like that. I did drop the form for you to fill out. Takes less than a minute, 2 minutes, so that I can know exactly, how to work with you and your children when it comes to your health, and I can contact you. So now we have a link instead of, okay, I want to do this. Sometimes we forget, so don't forget to fill out that form. Last but not least, we do have an iridology special, okay? Back to school. I'm going to pin that message. Back to school special, iridology, where you can look at your child's health, all right? Look at your child's health through the iris, and we can see what they need specifically. Now we have a plan. So I only see children on Wednesdays, right? So you're going to see me pop up with content on Wednesdays when it comes to children's health. We'll have specific topics. whether it's allergies. I do have a video on allergies somewhere on my YouTube where I went in depth about where allergies stem from and everything. We're going to talk about asthma, childhood obesity, diabetes, things, how you can overcome this in your children, okay? Because now we're seeing children with adult diseases. We are seeing children with adult diseases. So we really gotta solve this issue. Tomorrow, as I end this live, tomorrow we are live for another webinar, and I'm going to share that link, okay, so that you have that. And that is called Why You Keep Starting Over with Your Health. So that really goes into the subconscious programming of why we keep stopping and starting. Not, okay, I'm going to shame myself for it, but rather understanding the subconscious programming behind it. Tomorrow's webinar here. And you can register that, get your free seat for that. I just dropped the link so that you can get that. And that's tomorrow's webinar at 8 p.m. So we're going to really understand that this is not a motivation issue. This is a subconscious programming issue. And until you understand that, then we'll constantly be in this roller coaster. So I'll talk more about that, where we have communities where you can constantly reset on a monthly basis with surrounding the product. So, and you know, a lot of us are buying products, but it's sitting on a shelf because we're excited, and then the excitement leaves, and we're like, you know, and it kind of just sits there. Well, with this program, it really just helps you to say, you know what, I have a structure, I have community backing me up, and I can actually see myself sticking with this and doing this. All right. So that's tomorrow, 8 p.m. Once you register, you're going to get the link to the Zoom room. Okay. Any more questions? This has been an engaging live. I want to thank you all for showing up. Okay, I want to thank you all for being here. We are about an hour, almost and a half in, baby. I did not know we were going to go that long. But here we are. And you know what? When the spirit begins talking, we got to run and move with it. Okay. So anyone else have any questions about their children's health, what they can do, what they've been challenged with? Anything at all before we end this live? Make sure we get over here, because y'all, it has been a day, and your good sis is about to call it a night. Yes, I see. Thank y'all for y'all engagement too in the chat. I really absolutely appreciate it. Oh, don't forget to subscribe. If you have not, please subscribe. Okay, you will be seeing me more on here on YouTube, with videos, lives, because listen, we need the information. And I'm not talking about in 1 minute videos. It's really tough to get information in 1 minute videos. Okay. So I really love that, the fact that we're here, even if it's an hour. Thank y'all for staying for the entire hour in 23 minutes too. For real. I appreciate that. I do not take that lightly. The programs are very helpful and supportive. Yes. Great info. It was much needed. Bye and thank you. Absolutely. You are so welcome. Again, before I leave, I appreciate you. Don't forget, fill out that form so that we can stay connected and I can help you personally with your needs. I will see you tomorrow for Thursday's webinars, Why You Keep Starting Over with Your Health, why it's not a motivation problem, and how to reprogram your subconscious mind with this one daily tool that's going to change how you look at your health forever. All right, y'all. Take care. Have an amazing night, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace and love.